Hello and welcome to On the Couch with M&M. M&M obviously for Maria and Manos.
This is where we go behind the scenes in real estate business ownership to give you great ideas and tips to help you create fun and profitable businesses so that you can live an extraordinary life.
Let's get started.
Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of On the Couch with M&M. And today you have the both of us, Manos and Maria. And today is going to be, our topic is going to be about the all-important business planning day. We're coming to the end of the year, and it's probably one of our favourite days that we spend with our team in planning for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
And as the saying goes, as we know, Maria, I often say to our team, if we fail to plan, we plan to fail.
Yeah. No, we absolutely love it. We lock ourselves up for a whole day with our corporate team, and we actually schedule the whole year, from events to absolutely marketing, absolutely everything. So we'll go into it in a little bit more of detail today. Yeah. I'll let you start.
What does it all involve? So first of all, who actually attends the planning day?
The whole team. So the whole corporate team. For us, is obviously everyone that is involved in the events as well. So you know, our training, our corporate events,
administration, sales support,
property management, or head of property management.
So we're talking about leadership. So this planning day is not bringing in the sales team, personal assistants, or our property managers. It is purely the leadership team and the support team that obviously helps the rest of the team.
Yeah.
So that's more important.
Anyone that is involved with anything that's happening on the calendar.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
On-site or off-site?
Yeah.
Where should we be doing? Where should we be holding the planning day?
Yeah. Look, we're quite blessed because we've got a huge room downstairs, which is in our corporate office. It's a big room, and we can all actually sit there. We've got our projector, we've got our TV screen, we've got everything that we need in the office. So it's in-house, but really it's we can lock ourselves away. To avoid interruptions. If you don't have something like that within your office, it will be a good idea to hire a boardroom with all the facilities that you need, so you can take the team there, organize the morning tea and the lunch, so you don't have to worry about that. People are bringing that in, and then you can just focus on just planning for the whole day. Yeah.
And the team really buy into that. So the more effort you put into your planning day, and the importance of it, the more buy-in you'll have from the team. And that's what the whole purpose of the day is.
Yeah.
So, and whenever you do a planning day, you must have an agenda that you need to follow. And we're going to go into a bit of detail, the stuff that works for us. And it needs to be built before you actually start the day. Yeah. So the agenda for us always starts with, let's review the last 12 months. Yeah. What worked and what didn't. So we go around the room and talk about any specific things that happened throughout the year, that worked exceptionally well, and those that didn't work well and we can do better on.
And it actually starts earlier than that, because we capture all of those throughout the year. So for example, we just had our movie night. There's a lot of things that went really, really well. There's a couple of things that we could have done differently. So in the document that we've got, on our centralized server that talks about all of our events, we'll go in there and we'll just amend those things so we can remember next year what to do and what not to do, because you forget. I mean,
and that was our 14th. That was our 14th VIP cinema night,
and every year.
There was something that we learned something.
Yeah, that you can tweak and do better.
Exceptional.
So that was really good. It was a good success. So I was happy with that event. So yeah, talking about events, we have so many, don't we?
That's the next thing on the agenda. So we talk about what worked and what didn't. But the next thing that we actually do in our planning day is actually plan our events calendar for the whole year, and we work backwards.
Yeah.
And we put it into a spreadsheet. So let's talk about some of the events.
We start in December because this is where we are now. So we're planning for next year, and it's actually easier to start in this month and work your way backwards for the whole year, back to January. So,
for us, it starts with our family event. So, for example, the second Sunday of every month, of December, I should say. The second Sunday of December is always our family picnic day for our team. So we lock that into the calendar. So we'll fast forward into 2018, look at the date for the second Sunday in December, lock that in. We know that the Sunday before that is our Mornington Peninsula Family Fun Day. So that's locked in. And then
it's actually quite, I don't even know what the word is, but it's just, you're almost jumping a year ahead. So, for example, we just had our Gala Awards.
Yes.
That was a great success. And I just had an email yesterday from the Peninsula to book for next year. So as I've finished this event and it's all finalised and done, I'm booking the same event for 2018. So November the 10th next year is when we're having our awards. And I have already, so the day's locked in. That's going to go in the event planning.
The venue gets locked in?
The venue's locked in. We've paid a deposit. That's done. So I'm not going to have to worry about that until probably 2 or 3 months before that date. You know, I can forget about it because it's already half booked and the day is locked into the event calendar.
Yeah. And you'll find by having an events calendar is when you start preparing for the next 12 months, it's really easy just to slot those events in. So then you start talking about your quarterly awards, and if you're part of a larger network, of course they've probably already locked those in. Again, you just grab those dates, you stick it into your events calendar, and then you can work around all those main events of your other events. You put in so other things that we put into the calendar.
Well, we put ARIC in, so we
always
put events.
Put in ARIC. Our training events.
Make sure that we don't clash with any of that because we know our team loves to go to ARIC every year. So that date gets locked into the calendar, and then it's your Christmas and your Easter and all those big celebrations, important dates that you have to put in.
The family pizza night. So the last Friday of every month that we have our family pizza night. So that gets locked in. And obviously there will be certain times that you need to make those adjustments. Now, there is flexibility.
Yeah.
It's not locked in.
The majority of the times it just goes to plan because the majority of the times you have to book venues. You're only flexible with the things that you haven't booked venues for, like your pizza night or your breakfast that you do in-house and things like that. The rest of it, once you lock it in, once you book your venue, you can't go back. So
no, you can't.
You've got to be pretty sure of what you want and make sure you organise it properly from the beginning. But that's just the events. Then you've got the business planning.
Yes.
Which is the most important one.
Of course.
And that probably takes the majority. Locking in the events is a small part of the day. And we usually follow similar dates to the previous year. So that gets done pretty much straight away. It's actually the business planning that takes the majority of our day, of our planning.
And that starts with first organising your GCI. Yeah. So you start looking at what was your success in the last 12 months? Did you achieve your targets? And if you achieve your targets, look at what worked to achieve your targets. And then moving forward to the following 12 months, what is it you want to achieve? Do you want to maintain that GCI target? Do you want to increase your market share? And then from there, once you make that decision, it's one thing saying that you just want to increase your sales, but it's another thing actually planning for it. So does that mean, so for example, if your office did $1 million in the last 12 months and you want to go to 1.5, does it mean that say you did your $1 million with 3 sales agents, does that mean that you'd need to put another 2 sales agents on and form a team of 5? Or does that mean that you'll need to get more support to increase the individual team members to get to the 1.5? Or does it mean that you as a principal needs to put on more support teams so you can increase your GCI and make heaps of profit at the same time?
So you have to get clear on your
totally
goals,
clear.
So then you can plan. Yeah.
And the same with property management. So property management's a really interesting one. You need to make a decision. Are you going to grow the rent roll? Or are you going to maintain it to extract as much profit that you can from it? Because there's 2 sides to rent rolls, and that is keep it maintaining a size of rent roll. Say you're at 500 and saying, okay, that's in my marketplace, it's a good size rent roll. How can I extract as much profit out of it as possible, as opposed to focusing purely on growth? And it's those 2 strategies. And again, from the planning day, you can sit down and look at it and say, okay, what is it I want to do? So moving forward from the property management, Maria, we need to be talking about the marketing. Everyone talks about marketing and the strategy behind it. So what do we do on the planning day for the marketing?
So with the marketing plan, we actually set out the whole year ahead in regards to sales, property management, and then we actually give our sales agent a dummy, would you call it dummy? A property marketing, a marketing calendar for them to use for themselves. So we do almost 3 and then we incorporate it into one, don't we?
Yeah, because it's really important to understand that we have our corporate as an office, what we do from an office perspective, and then we've actually got to create that marketing calendar for the sales agent to show them what they need to be doing.
And for the individual offices.
From our corporate level, exactly. But when you're talking about an individual office, it's office level and then the sales agent. So how does that look?
So for a small business though, how, you know, and obviously there's a whole different people watching this and everyone's got a different size business. So if you had an agency with a couple of salespeople, or maybe 3 or 4 salespeople working under the one brand, you would only have one marketing calendar, wouldn't you? Or would you still have one for each individual salesperson within that office?
Yeah, definitely. It's small boutique, what we call our effective business unit. You have one marketing prospecting calendar
that everyone follows.
That everyone follows, and the messages that. But what is the messages that you're sending out to the community? Are you targeting established clients? Are you targeting past appraisals? Are you targeting future business? Are you also targeting the now vendors? Because there's different strategies for all those. So again, in the planning day, you need to map out, and the best way of doing that, is what we've found, is looking back at the last 12 months
and see what you did.
And I'm hoping that everyone, so if your business generated 200 sales in the last 12 months, what we do is, obviously through our recording, and I'm hoping everyone does this, is the lead sources. So you actually analyze the lead sources. So in the planning day, we bring out the lead sources and say, okay, 60% came from referrals. Most businesses, that's what the statistic is. 20% comes from direct mail outs and 20% comes from office and marketing presence. So again, look at what's been working the last 12 months and then planning into the future. And the best part about it is actually putting a budget next to it. So all these strategies that we've talked about today, and as we end the show, is making sure that you've got a budget for everything. So all the events, what did they cost us for the last 12 months? And what's our budget for the following 12 months?
Also, those calendars sort of interact with each other in regards to, so you have to have your event, strategize and do your events first, because a lot of your marketing is going to be around some of those events. Like you have Mother's Day, you have your Easter, you've got your Halloween. All those dates are already in and they're locked in. So as a marketing strategy, you need to know them, because then you can plan your marketing around those dates.
All the drops.
Just sort of all works together.
It does.
And that's why it needs to be done in one day.
Yes.
And the most important thing is to keep on track, because sometimes you can go off track and that one day can become, from 8 hours, it can go to 12 hours and then, move on to the day after. So you need to have an agenda, like we said at the beginning, and
definitely. Yeah. And you hit the nail on the knocker. Don't think that on the planning day you're going to complete your whole strategy for the next 12 months.
You want to have the basics down, though.
It's the basics. The foundations will be built, and without doubt, what we do is we give certain components to the key personnel, different people, and say, okay, the marketing strategy. Look, obviously we're blessed. We've had Jelly Bean Media. There's the marketing strategy. Move away, and then put it into concrete.
Create it,
and then create it. When we're talking about our recruitment, our human resources to do our recruitment events. When we talk about our family nights and all that, we have our social committee within each office to be able to do that. And that's the fun part about the planning day. And
we love it.
We do love it. We do. And I think we should actually run an event on just how to do a planning day one day.
That's a really good idea. Why don't we do that? Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us again on The Couch with M&M. I hope you got some value out of today's episode. And of course, we'd love your feedback and your comments below. And any questions and all that, don't feel free. Give us a call. Drop us an email. We're happy to help.
But if you want us to talk about a specific topic as well, just let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.